Don't get too cocky.
Heinrichs. It's always a relief when he gets a turn before things go really bad so that I can get all the rest of the buffs up.
I won't object to it. Naturally. But of course, Lord Kevin.
Lots and lots of buffs.
I won't object to it. Let's see to it.
Through the smoke and
Whoa.
gunfire. What? Ha! No.
Alright, taunt that guy, so he's also on mark. Hold on, let's see.
Let's see. What if?
Parry. Rip. Parry. Nice! Dumped all his action points. Got parried twice. Alright, zap him. Bird. Alright, one of the big boys is down. Machine Spirit Banishment? Or, sorry, no, that's a Machine Spirit Communion. Different thing. That's Banishment. Cassia's turn. I can see the curse is starting to spread, which is good. You stratagem.
Do not dare ask.
Move front line here.
Not a servitor.
Move her into
are
it.
always drowned in scarlet.
Stratagem that.
If I may,
Oh, I haven't used live bait yet. Let's do that. That's always a fun one. Okay.
another foe painted black. Isn't the crocodile
Take out some of those. Finest hour on Pascal.
I shall prevail.
He swung at the tank, that's good. Oh, I didn't even see those guys over there to the left. Oh, they all dodged that.
I shall not fail. As it my slave whispers your name.
Lots of hits. Wait, what? Unknown number. I'm not answering an unknown number. It's current year.
The shadows will see it done. As on. Trust me. Let your soul be purged.
Okay. Let's give Cassia some extra actions.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Oh, I was thinking D&D rules. I thought that guy was like, had already used his attack of opportunity, but no. He had more. Okay, that attack doesn't work on him very well.
Two are better than one.
I can do that with the right incentive.
Natural. I'm done with this one.
Okay, he gone.
But of course, Lord Captain.
Let's see. This guy is still taunted, right? Dude, what is all this? For one turn, this creature increases its armor by 10% for every instance of damage it suffers. Oh! And I gave it like 20 of those. Okay. Okay, yeah, he's still taunted for 2 rounds.
Let's see.
Ooh, 100 damage. So I used a move here. And you can kind of break the game with this. I don't want to go that far with it, but it increases the damage of the dog for every tile it steps over during this turn. And that's why I ran over there, sent the dog back, and then brought it back again to just, like, queue up a bunch of damage. And I know that, like, a cheese that you could do to just infinitely loop that and basically just kill any boss on turn 1. I refuse to do that. But there was a very good opportunity to use it right here in the way it was intended, I think.
Schemes within schemes.
Tech familiar activated.
2 damage. His armor has gotten too high. The guy in the back is down.
Isn't this a
But it was
job
his
for the
armor
sun?
increasing, not all of his stuff. And this is not armor damage.
Another foe painted black.
That was a fun fight. Not too bad. Shifting combi tool, plus 20 tech use. Alpha's arc rifle. Kiava Gamma pattern Omnisign axe and a chain axe. Alright, well we got a tech priest. We gotta see if any of this is an upgrade for him. 20 tech use, yeah. Upgrades people. The axe is a huge upgrade.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Return to void ship. No, not ready for that now. Okay, well we stumbled into the ending area. We still got other side stuff in this place to look around at. Let's tap quick save. Haven't done that in a little bit. Dig through the garbage like a proper road trader. Pascal, open that.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
What lies beyond?
Manual valve, a sacred instrument for manually activating the good machines of the Omnissiah. Who's a good machine? You are, yes you are. Remove obstacle, athletics 100%.
Applaud my brilliance.
Come on animals, get out of the way. Release the brake.
There
now I can
will
reach the other
be
valve.
no peace in my wake.
Okay. Tech use. The car is filled with refuse. Broken pieces of spare parts, chopped up lumps of flesh, bits of wire, other rubbish.
Aha! Found it.
Wait, what did you find? Adaptive flak vest. The wearer, 26% dodge, grants the wearer 3 deflection and 15% armor at the beginning of every combat. During the first 3 rounds, the bonus deflection is reduced by 1 and armor by 5% at the end of each round. Base armor property plus 10% armor if the wearer's intelligence is more than 55.
Oh, one step at a time.
I think the only person I have that might have int that high is either Jay or Pascal. Demence. The tech priest tears himself away from reading his data slate and looks up at you. His respiratory augmetic is missing. Instead, the lower half of his face is covered in deathly pale artificial flesh. You take note of the multitude of fresh augmetics attached to his head. They seem to have been inserted haphazardly, and pus is seeping from untreated wounds. I heard your footsteps in the void. You are Von Valancius, are you not? Pascal exchanges a series of binaric signals with the tech priest before saying menacingly, initiating arrest procedure. This unit is using fabricated identification code, which constitutes a grade 4 transgression. Identify yourself! His white and lifeless lips stretch to a smile. My name is Demence Hanuman. I believe it is familiar to you. This statement is false. This unit stands accused of identity theft. I am guilty of many things, but not the transgression you speak of. I have stolen nothing from you, my tech comrade, unlike many others who have indeed robbed you. Are you the one who stole Magos Tarsus' personal code and made an attempt on his life? No. Why would I do that? That was the work of the maimed hunter. Term not recognized. Is this a specialized term used by your branch of tech heresy? It is simply a name that fits him. You must have noticed by now that names are full of lies, haven't you, Pascal Hanuman? Mocking laughter bursts from the heretic's eyes. I am giving you a chance to explain why you are using the name of another. Another? I have the right to bear this name. It is my humble inheritance, which I received from Archmagos Amarnat. To renounce it is to betray his ideas. The blessed Amarnat taught us that the cycle must be discontinued, and it seems I have become his best student. Now I aspire to know all, comprehend all, as is the Omnissiah's will. Blasphemy! Should you continue these sacrilegious mentions of sacred litanies and heretical perversions of the blessed Amarnat's philosophy, you will be destroyed. You wish to sound outraged, but I sense your curiosity. I understand. Knowledge is intoxicating. This craving for new knowledge gnaws on me as well, but be patient. I am deciphering a great mystery, and my name became the start of the key. I analyzed the archives and found it in places where it should not be. Hanuman, Hanuman, Hanuman. I kept seeing this marker upon the traces of a great plot, of the deception created by Archmagos Amarnat. No sound mind is capable of such twisted cunning, but my mind was no longer sane. It could no longer stay within the narrow confines of the norm. Each new discovery loosened the imperatives of obedience and granted ever greater freedom. I avoided the traps of the maimed hunter who seeks to hide the truth. But words mean little. Do you want me to show you the truth? His pale lips spread into a smile. Pascal, do you have any preferences regarding the killing of your former tech comrade? Pascal switches to Technolingua, his vox erupting in a series of binaric signals. There is no need for secrecy. Let him understand. The heretic nods in your direction with a smile. Pascal glances at you with worry and says in Gothic, voice doubtful, following a voluntary surrender, I will be willing to commute the punishment from immediate destruction to arrest and isolation, for the purposes of conducting an exhaustive interrogation. If you think it best. The heretic's strange smile remains on his dead lips. Request denied, tech comrade. You'll have to pull what I know out of my head.
I will set them free.
Okay.
If I may. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
See, Heinrichs. Regenerate everyone. And I don't think this is going to be... Actually, I was about to say I don't think this is going to be a long fight, but they've got some hit points. Alright, I'll do Warp Curse then on turn 1. Also, what is that thing?
Me. If you insist, Lord Captain.
Mind Scrambler Grenade. Ow. Ow.
I shall not fail. The shadows will see it done, as honor ordains.
No, a parry.
Trust me.
That is unfortunate. That is extremely unfortunate.
A genius
taught all of this.
at work. What if... Shattered foe was in my wake.
Dang it, that would have been a big hit. There we go. Stand by. Alright, Pascal. He can't shoot his gun? Is it because of that mine? Okay, I cannot attack. I guess because of the mine scrambler grenade thing from earlier. Alright, let's use the bird then. Alright, bird takes out 2 of the Vox skulls.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends.
Machine Spirit Communion. Jay's turn. Do that. Let's do that.
Don't get too cocky.
I shall not fail, as the tenants demand.
There's a good hit.
Let's see.
Oh, that didn't work. Okay, time for the other buffs.
Let's see to it.
Iron Arm,
For the throne's
Heal,
glory.
Speed Boost,
Let's see
Dodge, Parry,
But of course,
Resolve,
Lord Captain.
Armor, and a Zap.
A wicked thought.
Try to die with grace.
Got that.
at least. I
Stratagem.
am a navigator,
Zap
not a
him.
servitor.
Ooh. Ooh. I don't know what he's... I don't know what he did to make the dog hit him the 3rd time.
I will not die in dishonor. The shadows will see it done. Caught by the web. Trust. Let your soul be purged.
Another stroke of genius! Schemes within schemes. A genius at work.
153. Oh my gosh.
What if...
Dog. Meow. Yeah, this dog is just zipping all over the battlefield. Alright, I feel like the dog, with if you're using that power, is finally starting to get better than, like, the eagle. Because up until this point, I felt like the dog just got knocked down state a lot, and it was just, you know, killed a lot in the fights. But that one, it carried. Pascal stands motionless as he stares at the heretic's corpse. After a long silence, he finally says in a hollow voice, I am taking his neural cogitator. The data maintained within must be analyzed to supplement the catechism of maintenance and operation. Do whatever you deem necessary. Pascal leans over the corpse, activates the sampling tool on one of his mechadendrites, and plunges it into the tangle of augmetics covering the heretic's skull. Okay. Amazing run in Tactical Breach Wizard. Shame that chat spoiled you with some of the key solutions, but your walkthrough and voice acting is top notch. Thank you for playing it. We're not done with it yet, Caesar, but I'm glad you're enjoying it so far. I would imagine that tonight we're probably going to finish it. It feels like we're near a finale.
They will see.
Oh, yes.
They all will see.
Cargo. What's this thing? A mishmash of steel wire and augmentation shaped by some madman into an unknown and frightening monstrosity. Plasma gun. That is an upgrade for what Pascal has. Portable cogitator, plus 10 to logic. Lore warp.
A minor setback.
The massive soot-covered vessels are filled with blood, which produces a horrible stench. The crucified body had all of its augmetics removed. Judging by the abundance of blood, they were ripped out when the tech priest was still alive. Ooh. I know I'm rewatching the VODs. Gotcha. Set up the ladder. Redemption Gauntlets. Each of the wearer's melee attacks made against enemies under the effect of exposed weakness and reduce the enemy's strength and agility by 10.
There, done.
Dark patches can be seen on the floor. They are smudged as though someone walked through them on their way to the footbridge.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Oh wait, I know where I'm at right now. I don't need to be here.
Genius triumphs.
Why did this part of the map get dark again? That's odd. It like unmapped this section? That should fix it. Lore warp.
Damn it!
An eerie-looking makeshift structure adorned with revolting totems and symbols. The dim lighting makes it look like the ornate symbols are moving. Alright. Now to the side stuff, which I thought was where the main stuff was. To the inside. Manufactorum of Kiava Gamma. The screen of this cogitator shows a scrolling line of repeating technolinguists. Staring at the obscure symbols gives you a headache. That again. Numerous wires and pipes run to the filthy cages, which are filled with what looks like a conglomeration of human bodies. You cannot make out who is in the cage, but bright blue sparks flash intermittently in the darkness while the mass of flesh twitches and shudders. Heinrichs casts a scrutinizing eye over one of the cages before withdrawing his weapon and approaching to examine what lies inside. Careful, Heinrichs. Look at it. Heinrichs gestures towards the cage closest to you. Through the metal bars, you see it truly is a pile of human bodies, or something that used to be. The monstrously deformed bodies have fused together in places, while others were severed using saws and knives, leaving wounds seeping pus and slime, wounds that are agglutinating and sprouting tendons. Rods connected to wires that run to a nearby cogitator bristle across the flesh. One of the human heads turns to you. Mercy. Even attempting to speak causes the mutant pain, but he bears the agony and forces out the words. Mercy, make it stop. Medicae, study. You examine the pulsating mass of flesh. The creature in the cage seems to be composed of several bodies joined together. You see no sutures or any other means by which the separate parts could have been connected. Among the layers of meat, you can discern large knots of muscle, various limbs, exposed bones, parts of faces, and entire heads. Only warp sorcery is capable of creating such an abomination while preserving its ability to live. Who are you? Foreman, Sector, Hertz, Mercy. The mutant falls silent for a few moments, but then his voice comes back stronger. Foreman, from Boiler 3. We're from the lower levels. The final words are drowned out by a moan. Heinrichs takes in his surroundings and once again fixes his attention on the contents of the nearest cage. I'm beginning to have some idea. The Lex mechanic mentions the inhabitants of the lower levels who had been imprisoned in their homes. He said some of them were brought here. The cultists did something to those poor people in their own home, and now they're studying the result. Have you ever seen anything like this before? I have seen a great deal, Road Trader. That includes mutations caused by the sorcery of chaos. But what frightens me most is not their repulsive form, but what is hiding beneath it. Heinrichs frowns. A human soul in torment. Chaos never forgets to ensure its victims retain the ability to suffer. The Lex mechanic talked about some kind of slag waste disposal and chaos symbols on machines. What are the archenemy's minions doing to the people of the lower levels? To know the workings of dark sorcery means allowing corruption into oneself. Heinrich scowls. These are warp mutations, no doubt. Perhaps there was some side effect, and that is why they were brought here, to be connected to sensors and cogitators. Even fallen tech priests who have rejected the Omnissiah are driven by a perverted hunger for knowledge. Why are they hooked up to cogitators? Heinrich carefully studies the screens of the computing machines. Lingua Technis, corrupted by the scrap code, I'm sure. It's unlikely we'll be able to extract anything of value from their data crypts. Thinking, Heinrichs clenches his fist and bites down on a knuckle, and then recoils when the mutant from the nearest cage reaches a hand out to him through the bars. You, a female face, watches you from within the gloom of the cage. Even though half of her head has been turned into a mess of bones and lumpen growths, her single eye looks at you with a surprising amount of intelligence. You promised us. Her words are echoed by other voices in the depths of the cages. Heinrichs leans toward the cage, but at a sufficient distance to ensure the mutant cannot reach him. Who are you talking to? What did they promise you? Who are they? You took us from the Inferno. You promised us a reward. Her face contorts in a grimace, and the creature's lips stick together like melted wax. I'll be damned, they can still speak. They remember the people who did this to them. Heinrichs balls his fist in powerless rage, then he frowns in thought. Perhaps a little biomancy will allow us to draw the fragments of knowledge out of them, or it will trigger further changes. Kibella stares at the pile of fused flesh without blinking. I do not hear their names, and the Undying One's whispers. They have become too twisted, and he no longer remembers them. What do you want to do? My psycho abilities allow me to affect the human body. It is one of the most effective tools to use against individuals who resist questioning. But if you're suggesting that I want to use it, I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself. The effect of warp energy will likely lead to an explosive reaction. I do not know the precise mechanism of the mutation. The result could be even more monstrous than its current state. Dogmatic! If there is something that will make them talk, we must use it. Heinrichs nods. Yes, it's possible another person would refuse to make such a choice, but we can use the situation to help the investigation. I don't really like either of these options. I'm not going to argue with you. It seems to me your mind is already made up. Heinrichs hesitates for a moment, then closes his eyes and raises one hand. You are enveloped by an otherworldly chill. The mass of flesh in the cage suddenly rears up, the mutant wrenches open its glued-together lips and begin wailing frantically. The shrieking is echoed by a chorus of howls and tortured moans coming from neighboring cages. The mutants change before your eyes. The tumors recede like an ebbing tide, revealing an emaciated female face twisted in agony. The woman gasps for air, stretching her now mobile neck, and exclaims, "Liar! You promised to kill me! You promised me deliverance! Every one of you, every